Welcome, lads and lasses, to another episode of The Nige Nerd. I'm your host, Nerd. And so the DC, I'm not used to this kind of format, so please bear with me if this video isn't so good, but I just wanted to give my thoughts on DC Fandome. So I'm going to get straight into it. Gotham Knights. I'm going to talk about Gotham Knights first. So I don't know why, but the first thing that I noticed was the voice acting, and I was like, the only voice I thought that the only voice I liked was Batman's, but he's barely gonna be in the game because he's dead. Spoilers. Ha ha ha. Anyway, yeah, the voice acting wasn't too great. I hope that's not for every character. I hope that's only gonna be for like it was Red Hood and Batgirl's characters that I heard the voice acting for. I wasn't too hot on it. But that aside, next I hope okay, I'll talk about that later. Next is the fact that this doesn't okay, I read on Twitter that it was clarified that this is not going to be in the Arkham universe, but when I was watching it, I thought it was going to be the Arkham universe, and I was like, that makes no sense. Like, okay, Commissioner Gordon died, Batman died after Arkham Knights, but how did he? But whatever, you know. Batgirl. The main problem is the fact that Batgirl can walk, cause she was Oracle, so like, I don't know, she recovered, but she was paralyzed. She can't really recover from being paralyzed, but that aside, it was cleared up that that is not in the Arkham universe, so we don't really need to worry about it. It's fine, standalone thing. The character models were great, and the costumes for them were really good. I really liked all of them actually. The okay, I liked all of them except the Batgirl one. I don't know why I'm giving Barbara Gordon so many shots today, but so I don't really like Batgirl's costume when her eyes are whited out, like in the comics. Because even like in the animated series and in many comics, her costume always has a bigger uh like space around her eyes, so you can actually like see her eyes and the eye color. And I didn't know how weird it would look with whited out eyes, but it looked very strange. To me, I was also thinking to myself, like, who actually has the gall to actually like kill Batman? This is Bruce Wayne we're talking about. Bruce Wayne, not just your run of the mill, goon. Batman is dead. But and Commissioner Gordon is dead, which is why the Gotham PD don't trust the Bat family anymore. It's not a terrible place to take it, but I mean, it's not what I would have gone with, but still not a terrible place to take the story in. Also, I think that Damian Wayne should have been in this game. He's probably going to be announced as maybe a future. I personally feel like they probably didn't announce him because I don't know, maybe he'll come in because okay, look at it this way, right? Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul were a couple, were a thing in Arkham City. You can correct me in the comments, but Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul were a thing in Arkham City, right? But she died, which means technically Damian Wayne shouldn't exist in this universe, but he can because Talia al Ghul and everything that happened in Arkham City didn't happen in this universe, in quotes. The long and short of it is I just want to play as Damian Wayne because he's cool. He has swords. He's a cool character to play as. If you played Injustice 2, you'll know what I'm talking about. Also, I love the Court of Owls. I even have the Court of Owls stories there. Um, and I really, really, really like the Court of Owls. But I don't understand how that's going to work with Batman. Are they going to make Batman into a Talon, like how they made Nightwing into a Talon? I don't know. If somebody wants, if anyone has any if anyone has any interesting theories about where they're going to take the whole Court of Owls thing, put it in the comment section below, or just hit me up, hit my line. Anyway, um, also I think that being something that you may not have picked up, but it was like a minor part in that whole gameplay trailer. If you saw it, Robin can teleport because he's accessing like the Justice League satellite, which means first of all the Justice League exists, right? And second of all, Tim Drake has access to it. Like, why the fuck can Robin teleport? I really dislike this idea. Uh, I really dislike this idea because he's Robin. Like he's the in I don't know. Whenever I just think of the traditional Bat family kind of dynamic or story, yeah, they have advanced technology and stuff, but it's never teleport. It's never that advanced. It's not like they're in the present, not in the future. Why are they out here teleporting? It's weird. I don't like it. Um, but to be honest, I will give this game points because it is nice to have a story that focuses on the Bat family, and it is nice to have a story that doesn't revolve around the old Bat, you know? So, points to Gotham Knight. So, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League was Rocksteady's game, and yeah, it was. I don't have a lot to say because it was a cinematic trailer, but to be honest, I'll give them props because that builds hype for this game. Even though it's coming out in like 2 years, it builds hype. I'm excited. Um, Also, this is supposed to exist in the Arkham universe, so Batman should be dead because of Arkham Knight, whatever. But it doesn't make sense because King Shark died in Assault on Arkham, which was an Arkham movie from like 2014 or something. And Deadshot was white in this universe, but now he's black, which I mean, it's fine, but like it just doesn't make sense in like continuity, you know? So if this really existed as its own standalone thing, I wouldn't really mind. In fact, I think that would that would make it better because it wouldn't have any kind of prior expectations. Technically, it does have expectations because it's part of, it's a Rocksteady game, so you kind of expect a certain quality. But that, in terms of you can do things that don't, and you don't necessarily need to fit into any continuity to do that when it's your own, you know, separate timeline thing. Um, they did a great job on giving us the characters that we're going to be using in this game. I'm really happy that, like Gotham Knights, it's only 4 characters. Um, so you have choice, but your scope isn't like, the whole of the DC universe or anything like that. And I'm really happy with the characters they gave us. Um, Harley Quinn in the past few years has just become a staple. She had to be a playable character, from the get go. So having Harley Quinn there makes sense. Deadshot also makes sense. Captain Boomerang. I think those 3 are the ones that will always be in the Suicide Squad, or will be the big names in the Suicide Squad in whatever story you're trying to tell. And King Shark, who's also in the Suicide Squad. If you watched just the movie, you wouldn't necessarily associate him with them, but he is in Suicide Squad, and he's gonna be really cool. And they gave him a minigun, which is just awesome. Um, and yeah, there isn't much I have to say about this game because it's was just a cinematic trailer and it's coming out in like 2 years. So who knows what could happen between now and then. And segueing on from the Suicide Squad game to the film, I mean, I'm interested to really see where James Gunn is taking this because, first of all, the DC movie continuity is in shambles when you really think about it. On the surface level, it might be like, oh yeah, one movie comes after the next, and yeah, maybe Joker wasn't in it. But when you start thinking about the new movies that are coming out and where they fit into that continuity, it gets really confusing. But this film, they brought back Margot Robbie. They brought back, I can't remember her name, but Amanda Walker's actress and Captain Boomerang's actor. There's no Deadshot. Idris Elba is not playing Deadshot. He's playing Bloodshot. But to be honest, there are I don't know if it was just me, there are way too many characters. It's like, there's literally like, I don't know, like 10 to 15 members of the Suicide Squad right from the get go. And it's like, how? Like, I don't want us to have, I mean, okay, this might just end up being another bloodbath. This might just end up being like, I don't know, we're only left with like three characters or like two characters by the end of the movie. And of course, Harley Quinn is going to survive because it's Harley Quinn and she makes too much money. But it's like, there are too many. Like, why? It's nice to see some lesser known characters get some love, to be honest. I really think it's quite awesome that they're including guys like Polka Dot Man in this film, which is just going to be super funny. But like, why are there so many? It's really nerve wracking. I'm actually quite nervous to see where this goes because now I'm skeptical about this movie and now I'm training myself to like it. And usually when I think about liking something, I like it less when I actually see it. That's probably going to be cut out. But yes, too many characters. The Batman, Matt Reeves's Batman. Reeves's? Reeves? Reeves? Matt Reeves's Batman film, starring Robert Pattinson, is going to come out next year. And I mean, I'm sure I'm not alone. I'm sure many people didn't think that this movie's trailer was going to be as good as it was. Because if you saw that trailer, you liked it. Don't lie. You liked that movie trailer. It was really good. You can't doubt that. So the trailer opens with Commissioner Gordon and the GCPD. Now, I'll stop there because something that has actually been a big, quote unquote big, an issue in the film landscape is when traditionally white characters are cast with black actors or actresses, or just when adaptations happen and people's races are changed, which is something I don't particularly like most of the time. Most of the time, I'm like, yeah, I mean, if they were created a certain way, leave them as is, you know. New characters can always be made and represent people from all different sorts of backgrounds. But Commissioner Gordon came in and he was just Commissioner Gordon. Like there's nothing I can say to how perfect, I don't know if it was the costuming or what, because he just looked perfect for that role. That Commissioner Gordon just looked perfect. So did Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. Yeah, her costume was a little bit more tacky, a little bit more, just thrown together. But I feel like that works better considering this film is in Batman's second year in his career as Batman, So it's super early, which is not something that we see a lot, because with Batman it's like, yeah, origin story, or, Batman is old and cynical. So it's nice to see something that's still in the early days, but he's semi-established, Also, it's good that this is going to be a detective. It's good that this is going to be a detective movie because we don't really get that with Batman, and he's always praised as the world's greatest detective. But the movie fans don't know that he's the world's greatest detective. They just think he's a guy who wears a bat suit and beats people up. So they're going to be proved wrong because there's going to be some interesting intellectual fighting. Because the Riddler is the main villain, and Edward Nygma is known for having all of his weird clues. And okay, if you've played any Arkham game, you know what I'm talking about. He's not a guy, he may be a guy that you think you can mess with on the surface level, but when you get to when you get in, you know that he's not. He's a hardcore villain. Hardcore. Um, yeah, I also thought that the bat suits was amazing, and Robert Pattinson, just from the trailer, I'm really happy that he's actually in this role because I mean, when it was first announced, everyone was like, "Oh, Twilight Boy, oh Twilight Boy," but he looks really good in this role, man. Like, first of all, his bat suit, his voice when he said "I am vengeance," that was, I mean, it was great. It was just great. It's not Kevin Conroy, and it's not any of the other movie Batman. It's unique and it works really well. I really like how it works. However, I hope he doesn't go in. I hope he doesn't go around killing people because when he punched that goon, I was hearing some squishy sounds that sounded like some brain fluid, and I really hope he's not killing people because Batfleck was killing people. And to be honest, that took major points away from Batfleck from me. I'm not really a fan of a Batfleck. I think he works in the DC EU. I'll get onto that later. But I'm not really a fan of Batfleck, to be honest. That's just me. Um, Also, last few things. Firstly, the Batmobile looks slick. Oof, it looks super slick. Um, yeah, nothing more. It just looks slick. Um, but there were some goons that were dressed up like the Joker. Not dressed up like the Joker, but they had Joker makeup on. And Joker hasn't been announced to be in this film. So what's going on? Is Joker going to be introduced? I really hope that doesn't actually happen, to be honest, because as much as I like the Clown Prince of Crime, I want to see something different. I want to see, a different villain be take the limelight for once because it's always the Joker, and even in the comics now, it's Joker war going on right now. So yeah, it would be nice to see someone else than the Joker for once. And the crown jewel of this event was the Snyder Cut. Yes, the Snyder Cut is real and looks pretty good, to be honest. While I just before I watched the Snyder Cut trailer, I began to think to myself, wait, Zack Snyder did Man of Steel, which everyone canned, and BVS, which everyone canned. So and yeah, Justice League wasn't great, but why is everyone so excited to see his next thing? Um, no, but to be honest, I think it's really great that he's coming back to come and work on it. The fact that it's been hyped so much, and the fact that people are really, really, really the same people who canned BVS and Man of Steel are really excited to see this film means that it's probably going to be good. It's probably going to be quality. So I am excited for the Snyder Cut. It was exciting to see that Iris West is going to be in this film. Um, they kind of just spoiled that Cyborg's dad was going to die in the trailer. Okay, sorry if you don't watch trailers, but Cyborg's dad kind of just died in the trailer. They showed some shots of Victor Stone playing football. Sorry, egg ball, American football, which we didn't get to see in the Justice League movie, which will be exciting to see, because Cyborg was kind of a bland character in that movie, I think. Steppenwolf has a new design, and of course, everyone wanted to see it. Big boy Darky, Darkseid, is gonna be in the film, which I think is great because I really like Darkseid, but I thought his design looked a bit video gamey. I expected him to look on the level of Thanos in terms of like kind of realism or quality. I don't know. I don't know the words to use for these things. I'm not a special effects manager at DC, but I thought he would look a little bit more like Thanos, but his design is still really good. I really like Darkseid. What else is that? Oh, Superman's black suit is gonna be in that film. I think. I don't really think he's going to wear his classic red and blue in the movie, but black suit that everyone wanted to see. there you go. And yeah, just from the looks of everything, it looks like it's probably going to be a really different film, which I didn't expect. This whole time, I just thought, oh yeah, the Snyder Cut is probably just going to fix a few things, fix Superman's lip, but it's looking like it's going to be a completely different movie. And then the thing is, which one is canon? Like, do we have the original cut canon? Because that was released in 2017, so that's where it was in the timeline. Or is this canon and then set when, and does it retcon the old film? Anyway, thank you for watching this mini rant style video. If you liked it, like. If you disliked it, dislike. Please subscribe. Please help me get to 50 subscribers. I'd really appreciate that. And yes, I will have one of my normal style videos coming this week. Yes, there were just some problems that I had this weekend that meant that I couldn't release it, but a normal style video will be coming out this week, and so look out for that. So press the bell icon. Press the bell icon so you don't miss that one. All right. And see you next time.